And good evening and welcome to the Division II Winter Final here in Brossard, Quebec as we gear up for a tantalizing matchup with Clockwork and against Chernobyl. With me is James Floriani and Vince Nardone. Gentlemen, welcome to the broadcast booth. I'll start with you, Vince. You cover this division very closely. Your early keys for these two teams as we embark on a heavyweight matchup between the Div 2 heavyweights.
Well, this is going to be a great matchup for Chernobyl offensively. I feel like their third threat being Mathieu is going to be the key to this game. He's going to have a big game because I don't think anybody on Clockwork's side can stop him. I don't think they have a DB to go 3 deep with Chernobyl today. So that'll be key. But like any other championship game, right? You just don't want to turn the ball over. You want to, as a QB for Pat, you want to give your receivers a chance to make plays and not force anything and just go out and make plays.
James, you are a quarterback. You know these two guys very well here. Who needs to have a good game today? Marco Masciotra could have a bad game and still win it, but is it on Chenard to win this with his arm and legs?
I think Chenard will have to have a better game than Marco does if he hopes to win this game. I think Clockwork are a little deeper defensively than Chernobyl is. And it'll be interesting to see because last time they played, both quarterbacks tossed 3 interceptions. It'll be interesting to see if that history repeats itself.
And we're about to get underway here. Chernobyl will have the opening drive. Chenard has a base formation, and we'll see who can win this battle here. Matt Kirouac, the rusher, had a fantastic season with 7 sacks. Chenard looking left, going deep down the left sideline. Nick Arsenault-Hum's tripped up by Antoinio Lanni, and Lanni thought he was pushed to the ground. No call, second down coming up.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact there, but it was a little incidental.
It was played very well by Lanni covering the fade. He crashed it. He just split the body and kind of stole his momentum because Nick had him. He played that very well, Lanni.
Opening drive for Chernobyl. They defeated the Wolverines, took out Terror Squad, and made it to the finals with a win over the Legends. Clockwork, sort of under the radar this year, but
you have a serious mismatch with Emilio outside there.
Going right, pumping, going over the middle. Wide open. Cober, touchdown.
What did I say before the play started? Exactly that. It didn't take too long for him to get open, and thank God for Pat, he saw it.
Jovan Cober had 2 TDs during the regular season. Opens up his account with a fantastic 40-yard bomb. 6-0. James, how do they stop a deep threat like Jovan Cober, who had a good start and good run on that catch?
Well, the thing is they have such a great top 3 as defensive backs in Marco, Antonio, and Kyle Lebowski that for Pat Chenard, for me, like he has to focus on the other 2 defenders and really pick on those matchups. For Clockwork, they got to adjust.
Extra point attempt. Chenard looking left, waiting, pumps. Kirouac gets sacked over the head of Cober out of bounds, so it will remain 6-0 and a great start for Chernobyl. Now Clockwork comes back into this matchup here. Vince, James, Marco Masciotra isn't 100%. Will that be an impact with his lower body injury?
We keep saying he's not 100%, but he's definitely not playing like he's injured. I feel like he is 100%. I feel like that leg has healed, and he's going to play like he always has. I don't think that the leg has an issue, or I don't think he has an issue at all.
Yeah, having seen him play last week, it didn't look like he was hindered much at all in his movement.
Against Chernobyl during the regular season, 4 TDs, 3 INTs, his worst output of INTs. Now here is a base formation. Patron, the left slot back. The snap. Looking left. Masciotra, and that sort of slipped out of his hands. That was tipped. Kirouac catches that, and that will be enough for a first down. And maybe Mathieu got his palm on that, and
definitely tipped. It looked like he smacked it out of Marco's hand, kind of. They got lucky there, a lucky bounce.
And that seems to be like the go-to play for Marco. It's like every time I've seen Clockwork play, first play of every drive is kind of that little curl out from Matt Kirouac and him running after the catch.
his read is Rich Hume running a fade, and if he reads man, then he goes to Matt on the out.
Kirouac has had 7 games of 40 yards or more this season. Base formation. Masciotra audibles to his teammates to the right, looking to the right, stepping up, going over the middle. Kirouac catches that flag on the play, tackled by Pat Chenard. We'll see what the call is from Danny Roy. A 4-referee system now for the Div 1 and Div 2 guys. Do you like this, having 4 referees out there?
No kidding. I would love to be in a game with 4 refs.
Yeah, you know, you can have one ref focus on pretty much every aspect of the game, so I definitely agree with it.
Yeah,
sorry, Vince, go ahead.
Yeah, we've played long enough to know that it's almost impossible to see everything that happens on a flag field, and a lot is not seen. A lot of contact, a lot of holding will never be seen. So at least you're making this game a little bit fair.
3:32 into this first half, an early 6-0 lead for Chernobyl. Marco Masciotra has hit Matt Kirouac twice in this opening drive for the Clockwork office. Antoinio Lanni, the right wideout. Masciotra looking, waiting, and again that's tipped. Caught by Lanni, tackled by Nick Arsenault-Hum, and right now Mathieu Toit's doing a pretty good job, guys, getting to Marco Masciotra with time and making him throw some uncomfortable throws.
Yeah, what I noticed watching the Chernobyl against Legends game last week is that the left cornerback, which is often number 56, Mathieu Patry, he often cheats right off the snap inside, and that leaves the whole sideline wide open. So it'll be interesting to see if that comes into play here.
Second down for Clockwork. Looking right, go to the sidelines. Caught by Lanni, and he'll get the easy 6 points. We are tied up at 6.
And right there, guys, you saw Mathieu Patry cheat right away, and Marco saw it and chucked it right away.
He kind of just shuffles in and leaves that whole sideline wide open. There's no way Chenard can be covering deep and come down on a hook there.
4:30 into this first half, and we might be in for a high-scoring affair here. 6-6 as Marco Masciotra responds back on a touchdown to Antoinio Lanni for about 15 yards, and now looking to take the lead for the first time in this game.
That was a huge missed tackle as well by Pat there. That's going to be that's 6 points. You can't be giving those away like that.
We talk about the 4th prolific offense in the season, and they showed it on that opening drive. Marco Masciotra looking, pumps, rolling to his left, buying time, going, and Lanni was grabbed by Matt Bond. That will not be called. And we talk about 4 referees, 8 eyes. They didn't see the grab.
Yeah, and Antonio Lanni pleading his case there, but the 4 refs decided that there wasn't enough to call anything.
5:22 into this first half, and 7 times this year, Clockwork has scored 30 or more points, and right now they're on pace to surpass that. Here is Pat Chenard, who opened up on a 40-yard bomb to Jovan Cober. We'll see if he looks at number 22 again, who's playing as a left wideout. Looking left, going over the middle, caught by Nick Arsenault-Hum. He's tackled right away by Matt Patron. It'll be second down coming up.
That drag you just saw by Nick, you're going to see it at least 10 more times. It's one of their go-to plays. They love running the drag underneath with Nick. He used to do it with Polynice in the past. And big thing to mention right now, they switched up their D right away.
They put Rich on him.
Pampena's off, and they got Rich Humes playing defense now.
Now, Vince, in your PPR league, who had Nick Arsenault-Hum? He had 75 catches during the regular season.
I'm not sure. I could check right now to see.
Arsenault-Hum, the right slot back. Chenard looking right, going to the right sideline, and goes through the hands of Nick Arsenault-Hum. It will be third down coming up, and a big third down for Chenard and Chernobyl. Does he use his legs at all? Because right now, guys, he didn't rush that much in the regular season or even the playoffs. Third down coming up for Chernobyl. This year, Chenard and the Chernobyl offense had 43 TDs. He threw 16 INTs and was only sacked 5 times. And in fact, Chenard had 3 INTs versus Clockwork. So both quarterbacks have had difficulties playing the opposing defenses in this matchup. Third down, big play for Chenard. Waiting, going over the middle, caught by 2 what? First down or more, upfield, and he'll be tackled by Kyle Lebowski. However, it will be a first down and move those sticks.
Yeah, you saw the middle of the field there open up right away. I don't know what the Clockwork defense was doing there, but both guys kind of split up, leaving the middle wide open, and Pat Chenard was quick on the release. Tuat
had 32 catches during the regular season, 8 TDs, and we're 7:19 into this first half, and Chenard's moving the ball with ease.
And again, I think Tuat is a guy that people, kind of underestimate a bit, and he's got speed, and he's a very smart player out there.
He's a playmaker, and he's always coming in clutch in the playoffs.
Chenard going to the right side, caught by Gatien, trying to rumble his way through. He's tackled by Lebowski just shy of the goal line. It will be second and goal coming up second and 1 coming up for Chernobyl's offense.
Keep an eye on that matchup there on the outside. Gatien is a tall body that Pat likes to use with the jump balls. And right now going up against Kyle Lebowski, I'm not so sure Kyle can cover that jump ball.
Gatien has a 3-game streak of touchdowns, so he's definitely the go-to guy in the red zone.
Yeah, you saw him go one-on-one on Marco Bertoldi last week against the Legends, and Pat Chenard tested him on the jump ball quite a few times there.
Looking left, Chenard stepping up, caught by Arsenault-Hum in the end zone. Tackled, and no, it will be a touchdown. 12-6 for Chernobyl.
That's the second time we see the drag route. Like I said, you're going to see it a lot.
8:24 into this first half. Nick Arsenault opens up his account in the end zone, and 6-point lead for Chernobyl.
Yeah, and he loves bringing Nick across the field, whether short or whether on intermediate ins. He loves those routes.
If you are the Clockwork defense, what do you do to adjust? Because right now, as Vince made the point before, they're doing a lot of drags, and they have not been able to stop that. And now an easy extra point catch for Chernobyl. They're up 13-6.
It's tough for them to adjust defensively because they like to stay in man. They like to man you up because they think they have the matchups for it. But when you're chasing a body across the whole field and you're running into your own players and all that, like it's a natural picks are installed, and then you're chasing the whole time. It gets rough. And then if you caught having to chase the whole game, you're gonna get tired, and Nick is gonna start abusing you.
9 minutes into this first half, it is a 13-6 lead for Chernobyl Circus. Matt Kirouac has been the go-to guy for Marco Maschiotra's offense. We've not heard from Kalaboski yet. Going to the left sideline, called by Rich Humes. Going upfield, tackled by Nick Arsenault-Hum, very close to first down. We'll see where they'll mark it off.
Yeah, you saw a huge cushion there given to Humes. Humes had the whole sideline to work with, and Marco's going to take those plays.
And of course, Marco Masciotra loves the deep ball sometimes, and he does have the horsepower with Kalaboski to stretch the field if need be.
Absolutely, but it's like any coach will tell you, you got to take what the defense gives you, and if they're giving you those quick little hooks, take them.
Second and short for Masciotra. Kirouac with the snap. Shovel pass. Kirouac, his third catch. He'll get the first down and more. Matt Bond with the tackle. And it'll be a new set of downs, and they'll move those sticks.
It's a smart play. You just want to get the first down, give yourself a new set of downs, and go for it again.
We surpassed the 10-minute mark here in this first half. It is a 13-6 lead for Chernobyl Circus over Clockwork. Clockwork looking to respond back with a touchdown.
Get back to your question before.
Yes.
Doug has Nick in his league or in his
Doug
fantasy.
McKernan, I see.
Yeah.
First and 10 for Clockwork. Masciotra looking right, stepping up, going left. Caught by Humes. Upfield, first down. And he'll be tackled by Matt Bond just shy of the first down marker. It'll be third and short, the first third down scenario for either side in this game.
Yeah, Marco threading the needle there, and Rich coming up with a tough catch, low on his knees, but nevertheless they move the chains. Or no, they don't. They're half a yard short, but making life easier.
Yeah, they were in 4-1 on defense, and Jovan got caught on a one step. He just did a one step out and slant in, and then he bit on that one step.
Third and short. Masciotra looking, hesitates, going to the end zone. Caught by Lebowski, touchdown. 7-yard grab. We're now at 13-12 for Chernobyl.
Yeah, the defender looking the other way there, and when he turned around, it was already too late.
Yeah, he was in good position. It's just he wasn't aware where the ball was, and Marco placed it perfectly for Kyle to just make the play there.
And you can see by the instant replay, a fantastic concentration by Kyle Lebowski, who had 11 TDs and 30 catches during the regular season, was a tour de force during the playoffs, making some clutch plays on both sides of the football.
Yeah.
They talked about him, guys. He's underrated in their minds, who hasn't been spoken about this season.
Kyle's definitely their MVP in the playoffs as of right now, and he's continuing to do more of the same, right?
And Kyle's one of those guys that plays in the lower divisions, and along with a bunch of other guys that just don't get the recognition.
Extra point attempt for Masciotra. Stepping up, going to the back of the end zone over the head of Rich Humes, out of bounds. It'll be 13-12 with about 9 minutes or so left here in this first half. A good start for both sides here, but at some point, guys, one of these defenses has to reply with something, a turnover, some sort of INT, big sack. Something has to happen for either side.
It's going to come. I'm not going to be surprised when it does, because both these defenses make plays.
Clockwork had 26 INTs. Chernobyl had 16.
I was just going to agree with Vince there. A play is going to happen. You just don't know when.
Chenard rolling to his right. Pivots. Has Gatien open at sidelines. Great play by Antoinio Lanni. He'll be second down coming up with about 8 minutes left in this first half.
That was never open, but he threw it there hoping Gatien was going to be able to get over Lanni, and it was just a little bit underthrown. They've been playing a 2-4 a lot, like a 2 deep with the number 2 and number 4. So on that play was Marco and Lanni, and Pat has no answer with his offense right now.
Gatien had 8 catches for 107 yards and 1 TD during the regular season. However, has 3 TDs in the playoffs up till now. Quick pass, Bond, hook play, upfield, tackled by Emilio Pampena. It'll be very close to a first down. Third down coming up for Chernobyl.
I guess he read the same thing we just did because it was, again, the same thing. Too deep with the 2-4, and he threw a hook right underneath Marco dropping. That was perfect play calling.
Yeah, splitting the two defenders there was nice.
Talk about Chernobyl's offense, very diversified this year. 3 players had 9 or more receptions. Sorry, 9 or less receptions, whereas Nick Arsenault-Hum had 75 in total. So this team right now hopefully will get more options this evening. Going deep, Bond, high throw. Great play by Marco Masciotra as he used his vertical on that play to make a big stop.
Yeah, and Bond did have a few steps on Marco there. If the ball was thrown a bit further out with more velocity, he could have gotten to him. But nevertheless, a nice play by Marco to get back.
Yeah, he had him, but I feel like he kept his route a little bit too flat. Instead of gaining more ground on Marco, he flattened it out and he gave Marco a chance to come back, and the throw just wasn't there.
Quick throw, called by Tuat. He gets around the sidelines, upfield. Tuat, and he'll get tackled by Koloboski. It'll be a first down and more for the Chernobyl offense.
Good tackle by Kyle. He had no one else back there helping him out. Nobody on that defense is chasing the play down at all. I don't know if they haven't realized they're in the finals right now, but if Kyle doesn't make that tackle, nobody's coming to help.
We're approaching 6 minutes left in this first half. A fast-moving first half. No one's called a timeout or asked for a technical yet, knock on wood. But right now, Chernobyl looking to add on more points, up by 1 late in this first half.
Look for Pat to try to go against Emilio here again.
Looking left, stepping up. Caught by Nick Arsenault-Hum. Great tackle by Antoinio Lanni. It will be second down coming up.
There's the drag again, and Antonio's behind because that's almost impossible to defend.
Do you need to crash that if you're the Clockwork defense?
Absolutely. You crash it from the opposite halfback.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
If you crash it, then he's got that fade behind it that'll open up. I mean, it's a good play set. The play is set up perfectly so that if you do crash on the drag, then you're leaving somebody open in the end zone. So you basically want to give up the drag, except you don't want Nick to get the ball. And in that case, it's a lose-lose.
Well, Nick Arsenault had a 42.1 accumulation percentage points when it came to total offensive threat for Chenard's offense.
There's the drag again.
Looking left, over the middle, open, Bond, touchdown.
There, they bid on the drag. They came down low, and then he was wide open over top. The play is set up basically by a DB, so Pat knowing that as a defender, you should be thinking, leave the drag, and we can rally down to that and force him to beat us. And on that play, they all bit, and they decided to take a chance, and it was the wrong thing to do.
Make that the 5th TD in the last 6 games for Matt Bond. Has had a pretty good playoffs or last part of the season with 13 receptions in the last 6 games. Going quickly, incomplete, so it will remain a 19-12 lead.
There is a flag
on the field.
Very late flag. He waited for Nick to complain.
And it appears it will go against Clockwork. With
Holding.
about 4.5 left here in this first half, it appears if Clockwork doesn't score, they could be in the hole going into the second half because you want to get that time score and at least be in that position to have that lead going into the second half to start off at least.
It looks like it's going to be holding against Clockwork. Not so sure. They're probably going to redo the play and from closer to the end zone. Go for 2 from 1 or...
The refs are still discussing it.
Yeah.
A lot of conversing right now. I wonder if they stopped the clock yet or not. We'll see. But I think Clockwork has no beef to say yes. This should be going against Chernobyl. So they will readjust and replay the extra point.
That looks delicious.
The hot dogs.
As they figure this out, we could see that DK has now shown up to the field and they're getting ready to warm up for the next game, Division 1. DK versus Got Skills, the battle of the underdogs.
Now it's a 2-point attempt coming up for Chernobyl, looking to potentially go up by 9.
Yeah, this is a huge play right here.
Chenard.
Make it a 2-score game,
Going to the end
and
zone.
he does.
Got it.
Great play. Great play.
A 9-point lead, and now Clockwork is in somewhat of a deeper hole, knowing that next time they score, they'll still be down by at least 1 point.
Up 2 scores, that's big. You just can't let them score before the half here. You got to D up. Your offense has got your back. Now defense has got to start putting in some work as well.
Less than 4 minutes left in this first half. It's been a fast-moving affair. Will Matt Kirouac factor in here? They were 8-2, and Kirouac scores a touchdown this season.
Oh, look at the sideline.
Masciotra going down the left sideline. Almost picked up by Jovan Cober. He had two hands on that, but couldn't bring that in as easy as he thought it would have
We
been.
mentioned it at during the podcast how Jovan is a great DB, but he has no hands. He has a score today for 40, but I wouldn't have been surprised
He
on that
bobbled
play.
that one, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
have been surprised if he would have dropped that because he's dropped
Yeah.
so many 40 bombs for Pat this year. It's crazy.
Cober had an INT against the Wolverines to seal the deal in the opening playoff game. However, couldn't corral that football in with ease. Second down coming up for Masciotra. Looking right, stepping up, open. Apostolakis right to Kirouac's hands. One quick move, and that will be very close to that first down
That's
as
insane.
they had that played out.
That is insane.
But again, guys, you look at what Chernobyl is doing on defense, and you see Gatien moving to the right, shifting to the right away, with Pat the only one deep on the left. So
Yeah.
if you send a fly post on that side, one of them is going to be open, and it's going to be an easy score.
If
So
you
I-
flood the deep zone,
Because
like
you
you
s-
said,
Because you see Matt Bond also cheating to the right.
which is a play that Marco loves doing. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it in the near future.
Second and short. Rolling to his
Here's a
right.
bit different look.
Waiting. Sideline, incomplete. Hit the camera. As Marco Masciotra was more accurate with Ryan Reedy on the sidelines than Alex Apostolakis. It'll be fourth down, my apologies, coming up here. So the first fourth down attempt for either side. And this could be a game changer if Clockwork can't convert.
Fourth down, yeah, they just need a half a yard. They're going to go back to that quick throw to
Kirouac.
Actually, no, I take that back. It would have been a much quicker huddle.
Big play. Pivotal moment in this first half as we approach less than 2 minutes left. Fourth down for Marco Masciotra in the Clockwork offense.
You got to be closer as a
Yeah,
defense
they're
than that.
so far
this
back.
is way too far.
So far
That's
back.
too-
Oh,
Picked.
my.
And it's
Incomplete.
dropped. That's huge.
So Chernobyl avoids a bullet going their way as they get the ball back, and with less than 2 minutes to go here, they could go up by essentially what will be a 15-point lead if they do score on this next drive.
And that was
Marco's
right
rattled.
in Kirouac's hands.
Yeah.
He's rattled from that for sure.
Yeah, Marco's yelling at Kirouac, but they need to stay together. This is going to be there's a lot of time left in this game. It's not time to buckle now.
Now we'll see if Chenard and this offense can put this first half away on a good note. Going in deep, Cober through his hands, incomplete.
Again, guys, that's brutal because that's a huge play that he's got to make.
Yeah.
That hit him right in the hands, and that's unacceptable.
I've seen this so many times, and he knows it. I've seen him drop picks, drop touchdowns. He doesn't have good hands,
Yeah, that was
unfortunately,
a beautiful throw.
because he's got great feet, good footwork, good route running. He's fast, he's elusive, but just can't make the catch.
Less
No
than
hands.
Vince, less than a minute left in this first half.
Don't apologize, Mo.
At midfield, Chenard looking left, sets up, throws. Cober finally catches
There
the
you
ball.
There you go. Use your body.
There you go.
Used everything but his head to catch that football. It will be third down and another critical moment for the Clockwork defense.
That's a big catch. You need those yards, just for Pat as well to continue staying confident, getting those completions. He's taken a couple shots deep that where he might be thinking he wishes he would have had those back or scored on those plays. As a quarterback, Floriani, you probably agree that you like getting those completions for your own state of mind.
Absolutely, because if you throw 2-3 incompletions in a row, it starts getting to you. So definitely, you keep moving the sticks a bit.
Throughout, quick catch upfield.
It makes life easier on you.
Yeah.
Tron with the tackle here. So they inch closer now inside 5 plays as we reach the 22-minute mark of this first half. And right now, guys, who is the go-to in this scenario? Is it going to be Nick Arsenault-Hum or is it Gatien with his length in the red zone?
I feel like Pat doesn't seem to have a problem with the matchups that he's been given here. So he's gone to everybody. He spread the ball well. They're in man. They've been in man almost the whole game, especially on short fields like this. I guarantee you they're going to be playing man. So he'll pick whoever he wants to fight with.
Chenard looking left again. Quick pass, Patry. He is pushed out of bounds just shy of the goal line, and it'll be 4 plays left.
So that was drags again.
It's an aggressive play by Rich Humes to try and get a hand on it.
Patry
Unfortunately, he couldn't.
has a 4-game streak going on of touchdowns. 5 times he's had 3 or more receptions this season. So he's definitely a go-to guy in the red zone if called upon.
He's a big body, so I don't blame Pat.
He's got good hands though. He's a solid receiver. He's clutch in the go-to. So Pat's comfortable throwing him the ball.
Patry playing the left slot back. Nick Arsenault on the right slot back. Lanni on Arsenault-Hum. Masciotra on Patry.
Wide open, Patry.
Looking
Oh,
left
too
back
late,
in the end
too
zone.
late.
Picked off by Masciotra. Huge play for Clockwork.
Waited too
and
long.
They get their 27th INT of the season, and you wonder if that might come back to haunt them if it ends up being a Clockwork victory.
You definitely don't want to give up points. That you don't want to miss out on these points. That would have been huge. That would have iced the game.
Yeah.
You would have been up 3 scores. It probably wouldn't have iced the game, but it would have been a serious nail in the coffin.
Yeah, the worst part is you see on the replay even that Patry was open right off the snap,
long
wide,
time,
wide open. Chenard waited a second or two too long, and it cost him.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain too much because Clockwork is my defense in my fantasy.
3 plays left in this
There you
first
go.
half. Vince might play for Clockwork in the second half to win this fantasy matchup. Here is
Oh, look at that.
going
Wide
deep, open, Lanni, touchdown.
And there's the play I just called before.
Yeah.
There's the fly post, and it was wide open, and that's an easy read.
And we'll get the replay right now. He was wide open, guys.
Nobody within 15 yards of Lanni.
And here's the replay, and it appears it was a broken down coverage.
It's just Matt Bond. He's got to pick.
They've been doing the same coverage when Clockwork is on their end of the field, and as a quarterback, that's way too easy to read.
Now, guys, are you surprised they're going for 2, given that they're down by 3 points? Pardon me, late in this first half.
They're down 13, so now they're down 5. No, it's okay.
21-18, right?
21-18.
So
I
is
like
it-
the call. I like going for 2 here.
21-18. Sorry, my fault.
But isn't it too early though to go for 2 points? Given
No,
again, it's
not if
only
you're
the first half.
comfortable. It depends on your
No,
offense.
yeah, it depends on the guys you have. It depends on your type of offense, and I personally like the call.
Big play for Clockwork. Fake handoff, rolling right, pack to Rich Humes, who has space to work. Arsenault-Hum attacking him. Short play, caught by Paslakis. 21-20 for Chernobyl.
And what a turnaround! What a turn of events here.
That's worked for them so many times this year. It's just, I don't know what it is that they do, but it just works.
A 14-point swing. What could have been a touchdown for Chernobyl ends up being a mere 1-point lead for them, in which they could have been up by 15 at least.
And the worst thing is Chernobyl played it great. Nick attacked as soon as Rich got the ball. Nick went down and attacked it, and Rich made a perfect throw to Alex, who's sitting on that cone wide open.
Chernobyl audibles to Cober and Gatien. He's looking left. He's going deep. Caught.
Nice catch.
Arsenault-Hum, and
Great
that will
grab.
be
Great grab. The
Whoa.
noise that you heard that you heard was his fingers hitting the ground with the ball. So he was definitely under the ball.
And now
That
they've
looked like a
conversed
catch
and
to
they've
me.
moved
Yeah.
the sticks. And here we go.
That's a catch.
Great catch by Nick Arsenault-Hum.
Great job on the camera by Ryan.
Ryan Aridi with fantastic camera work as he had both hands underneath the ball. And we'll see right now. Little reverse slow-mo.
Oh,
Rich Humes coming
Look
in
at
there.
these new features. FPF new features over here.
Without a doubt, that is a
we don't even get
catch.
to see it. There you
That's definitely a catch. Back to live
Oh,
action.
here's
Deep play,
Gatien.
Gatien. And that is batted away by Patron. And
That's a
that
bad
will
throw.
be it of the first half. So, guys, 21-20 lead for Chernobyl. Momentum's now gone back to Clockwork. How does Chernobyl get back that momentum? Because they were in control of this first half for pretty much 85 to 90% of the play.
you got to put that play in the past. He threw the pick. It was a bad decision. You got to forget about it and move on. The problem is now he's made another. This one, the last throw that he made here to Gatien was not a good throw and almost got picked off again. He's got to get back to where he was when he started this game.
Yeah, you got to give your guy a chance in that case. You got to put it up high and deep.
Now, James, you and Pat have similar styles of play, being able to run the ball and pass football. Should he use his legs? Because, again, we look back at his rush stats, not many yards this year as opposed to years past. Should that be another weapon to consider at this point in this game, given that they're only up by 1?
I do think so because he's got the speed, and the other team, Clockwork, will not be expecting it. So I think if he comes out the first drive, runs it a few times, picks up a few first downs, it'll make them honest, make the defense honest, and I think that'll play a large role in Chernobyl's plan going forward.
Now, Vince, looking at Marco's offense here, I mean, he's done pretty well up to now. He got very fortunate in a couple of plays going his way, but Kalaboski hasn't really factored in. Rich Humes hasn't been much of a factor. Should he look at his third and fourth options in the second half to really make this a more diversified look?
Well, I feel like this game's going to open up now in the second half because he's realized how open the deep routes are. So he's either going to start running a lot of guys deep and throwing it, or he'll eat up the underneath if they adjust. But I feel like this game might go. We might get a lot more points in the second half than we did in the first.
Marco Masciotra, pretty good into the first half. Pat Chenard, not so great here. James Floriani, Vince Nardone, very good in this first half with their analysis as we gear up for the second half.
Speaking of analysis, I'm pretty sure Mo said that this game was going to finish 12-6 on Thursday
Swami
during the
said.
podcast.
He also called 21-17 in one game, so I don't.
The Swami
I don't-
says those are the score lines.
Right.
Also, Vince, in your article, wasn't this your final score, 21-20 Chernobyl?
Was it?
I think it
I
was.
don't think so.
I think this was your final score. So
We'll
if,
get that
if the game
verified.
ends now, you're right.
if it just
we
we just
for-
wrap it up
forfeit
now,
the rest
guys.
of the game.
You know what? Forget the other half.
Make Vince look like a genius.
And we're underway.
Is that what I wrote?
We are underway here in the second half here. Chernobyl up by 1. Clockwork looking to potentially go up for the first time
That is what I wrote.
in this game.
Yeah.
I was guessing a halftime score.
Apostolakis, he will bumble his way up to the first down marker, and that will be just shy by
By like half an inch.
a Marco Masciotra arm length.
No, less than that.
That's true.
I would say like a Marco Masciotra toe length, maybe.
That's a big toe. It's a big toe.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eagle. Second and short for
I can just hear
Clockwork.
him laughing. Eagle.
1 point lead for Chernobyl. How will they respond back after giving up a late touchdown to Clockwork? Looking left, Masciotra sideline, caught by Apostolakis, back-to-back catches upfield, and he is tackled by Nick Arsenault-Hum. However, that'll be enough for a first down, a 14-yard gain.
It's another guy that we don't really speak of, Alex. He's been with Clockwork forever. He played Roosters and Donkeys with Marco. He's a guy that Marco is very comfortable throwing the ball to because he doesn't drop anything. He's not the fastest, but he'll get open. He's never played football, but it's almost like he's football smart. He's got the IQ to just get open and sit in the open zones, and Marco loves that about him.
Only 13 catches during the regular season for Apostolakis. Masciotra going over the middle, caught, Pampena, touchdown.
Good throw. That was a great throw. He squeezed that right in the window.
Emilio Pampena opens up his touchdown account with a fantastic grab. It is now 26-21. Now Deagle for 2 points to go up by a full touchdown score of 7 points.
I mean, it worked last time. Why not try again?
And we see
I'm
from
a
the
big
highlight
bo-
right now, Pampena playing the right slot back.
That was a big window.
Yeah. All right, then.
So they will go for 1 as opposed to the 2 point here to go up potentially by 6 points. Up by 5 is Clockwork for the first time this evening. The Div 2 title. We are 20 minutes and 5 plays away from finding out who will win this game. Fake handoff. Masciotra back in the end zone, picked off by Matt Bond. So they're no good, but they're up by 5, which is good news for the Clockwork offense.
You go from a great throw to a really bad one. He's going to want to take that one back as well. That's twice that they go for extra points, and Marco doesn't even give his receiver a chance to make a play. These points, you don't want to leave them on the field.
No, and it seemed like Matt Bond was cheating towards Antoinio and Lanni, and you had Kirouac sitting right in front, wide open. So I don't know why he went there.
Clockwork on a 14-0 run since late in the first half. Chenard looking left, quick pass, caught by Patry. Tries to make one move, and he's brought down by Emilio Pampena, who just scored the go-ahead touchdown a mere moments ago.
They changed up their defense there. I don't know what Marco was doing, dropping. He dropped very quickly. I don't know if they're trying to disguise a one deep from a corner. That'd be weird, but I wouldn't be surprised.
He might just trying to be getting in their heads too.
Maybe.
Second down coming up for Chernobyl, pardon me. Arsenault-Hum still in the right slot back base formation. Chenard looking left, going deep. Arsenault-Hum, great catch, touchdown.
Nick against Lanni on the deep, on anything deep, is not something that you want if you're Clockwork on defense. It's not a good matchup for them at all. Lanni's, if you go back to the DK game when we won a championship against was it Clockwork? No, it was DK against D-Boys. Lanni was in the slot, and he got abused by our slot that game.
And he got abused right now from that slot
exactly
position.
That. Nick gives a high five to the ref.
1 point
That one
lead.
was for your sister.
1 point lead for Chernobyl. Back in the lead for the first time in the second half. Chenard looking left, stepping up, quick play, Patry. And he's brought down. Will that count?
He's definitely
It's
in.
good.
Yes, he does.
Great job.
Yeah, good job fitting the ball in there. That was a tight window.
Yeah.
Now, guys, we look at this being a 2 point lead, and we talk about extra point converts.
Yeah.
It may be critical at the end of this game if it ends up being a 1 or 2 point victory for either side.
Well, it's usually the case. I mean, it's something that most teams don't practice enough or don't take serious enough. The extra points are huge. They are absolutely like the game before this one, or the Division 4 game. There's a team that kept going for 2, and they converted, I think, on 4 or 5 twos.
Yeah.
That's almost 2 scores. You're getting 2 more touchdowns with those extra points.
Masciotra looking left, pumps, rolling to his right. He's got real estate. He's going to run for the first time this evening, and he's not much of a runner, but he will get about 7 yards on that run. Tackled by Mathieu.
Yeah, and Suat was undisciplined there, jumping. You're always told not to jump as a rusher, but he did there, and it cost him 7 yards.
Yeah, I'm sure he learned from that. He probably won't do that again.
Masciotra this year has had 7 games of 6 TDs or more. And right now, they'll need every touchdown to go their way to win this very close battle with Chernobyl. The snap. Looking left, going sidelines, caught by Rich Humes down the left sideline, brought down by Jovan Cober, and that'll be enough for a first down.
Yeah, and Rich Humes plays with Vinny in Div 3 grip and rip. He just won a championship, looking for a second, and looking to pull a Vinny there with his magical hips, but unfortunately there it did not work for him.
His best game was against Dams 25-8. He had 2 touchdowns on 72 yards receiving and 5 catches.
Very versatile player, Rich Humes. He throws in the lower divisions. He's a great receiver, great DB. He's just an overall good player.
Masciotra looking deep, going to the right corner. Incomplete, intended for Antoinio Lanni. It will be second down coming up for Clockwork.
Guys, does Kyle Lebowski even have a catch this game?
I believe not.
Yeah, no, he caught a touchdown on Jovan.
That's
right,
my apologies,
one,
yes.
yeah.
But he's been very quiet so far in this.
That's his only target, though, I think. So if I'm Marco, I'm looking to get Kyle more involved in this game.
Well, you do have Nick matched up over top of him. I don't know if you want to throw the ball against Nick.
Lebowski playing the left slot back for the Clockwork offense.
Marco referred to this in the podcast again this week, where he's saying how Nick always picks him off, so he's probably trying to stay real far away from him.
Had 3 INTs against Chernobyl last time. Waits, rolling to his right, trying to buy time. To what? Pressured. Caught by Pastelakis. Chenard gets his hands in there. Incomplete.
Great D.
And now Marco thought this should have been interference call. It will not be the case.
Good D there, but Pastelakis has got to put his hands out, get his body in front, and not let it hit his body and allow Chenard to get his hands in there.
I'm not sure he's able to make that catch with his hands, though. He's more of a body catch kind of guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, in that situation, for sure, it would have helped him out because the ball bounced off his chest and it allowed Pat to make a play on it.
15 minutes left in the second half. And a big play coming up for Clockwork as they are now about 13 yards or so away from the end zone. Pastelakis playing the right slot back. Lanni to his right. Masciotra looking right, steps up, going deep. Lanni! Great play by Patry. Could have had the pick, but couldn't hold on to it cleanly.
It was great defense, but a bad throw again. That's awful, awful position of the ball.
It will be 4th down coming up for Clockwork. Another pivotal moment in this game. Clockwork down by 2, looking to keep this drive alive. Go-to guy is who in your mind, guys?
It's tough. Every play I look at the matchups, and it's crazy how you have Pat Chenard on Lanni. You have Nick on Lebowski. You got Jovan on Rich Hume. So Matt Bond on Kirouac. His only good matchup is anybody lining up in front of 56, but he's making plays at the
Trips left, looking left, going towards the sideline. Great catch by Lanni, and that'll be very close to a first down.
He's a bit short, I think.
And now they mark a first down.
Giving him the first.
The 4th best defense in Chernobyl gives up a first down. This, again, keeps Clockwork alive on this drive.
I have so rarely seen a ref not give the 4th down when it's a close call. I feel like it always goes for the offense. It's a good catch. He's a good play. It was just a quick out at the first down and a good throw by Marco to get the first.
Good timing route for sure.
Less than 14 left in this second half. 3 yards away from punching this ball into the end zone is the Clockwork offense. Masciotra rolling right, looking, sideline, great catch by Lanni. Touchdown. 32-28. They're up by 4. Do you guys go for 2?
Yes. Well, you have to.
Yeah,
you have to. You want to
Absolutely.
take a 6-point lead. A 5-point lead does not do anything for you.
Lanni this year had 5 games of 5 or more receptions. And 6 times he had 53 or more receiving yards. So he's definitely been one of the go-to guys for Marco Masciotra this season.
Yeah, and you haven't seen a lot of deep routes by Lanni today. Actually, we saw a deep bomb to him. It's something that he likes doing with Lanni. It's kind of the speed on the team or on their offense. and he's clutch with those catches like you just saw there with the toe drag.
Fake handoff again. Here's Rich Humes on the left side.
Oh,
Cober
same
coming in.
sidelining.
Quick pass.
Oh.
Picked up by Arsenault-Hum. Down the field he goes. 2 back for Clockwork. Arsenault-Hum going the right side. Gets around, and a great play by Rich Humes to keep it at a 4-point lead. And right now, for Clockwork, the good news is they're up by 4. Could have been a little bit worse if they gave up that 2-pointer.
Worst thing about that play is that Nick just ran 40 yards for no reason, and now he's got to come play offense.
We surpassed the 10-minute mark. My apologies, we've now reached the 10-minute mark of this second half here. So 12 minutes is remaining in this football game. But right now, it's going to be a score for score, and extra points will definitely be critical at this point moving forward.
If I'm Pat Chenard on this play, I test them deep. I take a shot. Because you've been doing a lot of short stuff. Now maybe nice pump and chuck.
Chenard looking right for the first time. Pumps. Here's to what? Upfield, and he cannot get around Kyle Lebowski with the tackle. Second down coming up on this drive. And now we're approaching 11 minutes left in this second half. Down by 4, and we talk about guys who could be the go-to. We know about Nick Arsenault-Hum here, but we wonder, guys like Patry, Bond, can they step up to the plate and be that X factors for Pat
Yeah,
Chenard?
they're playing a 2-4 again, so I feel like if you the same combination we've been calling for Clockwork,
Look who's on
fade.
Bond. One-on-one on Bond.
Yeah.
I take that.
And a great tackle by Patron on Mathieu.
A flag after the play, too.
There was some
looks like holding downfield.
laundry thrown.
Pampena.
Matt Bond pointing at Pampena, and
Yeah.
James, you made a great point. That was a mismatch,
Yeah.
and that could have been exploited to their advantage had Pat recognized it early on.
It's an obvious mismatch, not to take a shot at Pampena, but Matt Bond is speed.
And now they called it off.
So no flag.
So no flag. It will remain third down coming up. Another key moment for the Chernobyl offense. Danny Roy, the head referee, signals to everyone out there, and we look at the base formation once again.
Hard to understand why a ref downfield would throw
There
a
you
flag
go. They switched
and then
Kyle.
take it
They
back.
switched Kyle Lebowski on
Yeah.
Bond.
Chenard steps up, going in the middle to what? Over his head, incomplete. Fourth down, guys. Do you punt or you play in the numbers and go for it?
How much yards to go right now?
That's probably 4th down and 3.
You got it.
And
go
you have
for it.
9, less than 9 minutes to go in this second half.
I would go
If
for
you're
it.
in Division 2, you got to go for this. There's maybe Division 5, 6, maybe you punt, but
Vince and James, you made the point that someone has to make a play on defense.
Yeah. This is it.
This could be
This
the play.
could be it
yeah.
right here, guys.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a turnover, but like a interception, but this is just as good.
7 sacks, 33 PDs, 26 INTs for the Clockwork defense this regular season. Can they play big? Chenard looking left. Waits.
He's got that drag.
Arsenault-Hum first down, flag on the play. We'll see what the call is, but right now it is a first down for the time being. And we'll see if we get the replay here.
Not sure if the wide ran into a defender there to open up the drag.
And we'll get the replay up in mere moments.
Come on, Eagle. One job.
And right now they're still readjusting. So it goes against the offense. Now, guys, do you punt it or do you still go for it on 4th down?
I think you still have to go for it
Yeah,
because
it's the same logic.
your defense has not shown that they can stop the opposing offense, and you're down by 4. You have to go for this.
A defining moment in this football game.
Did we see what the call was?
Offensive pass interference.
Wow.
Chenard looking left, going right.
Oh, wide
open,
open, but he
Arsenault-Hum
overthrew him.
through his
Oh.
fingertips. Incomplete.
That's a killer.
And you wonder if that'll come back to haunt
Of course it will.
100%.
Chernobyl.
If they score now, if Clockwork scores here, this is no good.
And to miss on a throw like that with your guy,
Wide open.
literally, there's nobody 20 yards around him. Your star player on top of that, and you overthrow him. That's just killer. All you have to do is just put it up.
Yeah.
Now, can Chernobyl's defense come up with a turnover that they have been looking for in this game, down by 4? Matt Kirouac slowly walking upfield as we are now inside 7 minutes or so left in this second half.
They're probably going to look to slow down the game here and burn as much of the clock as they possibly can, because if they go up, they're up 2 scores if they score here.
Rolling to his left, waits, pivots, open, Paslakis, and now they switch
Yeah,
rushers.
good call. I was going to say he'd never had control of that ball.
Now Gatien going in at rusher, maybe take away the middle portion of the field for Marco Masciotra.
Which is pretty much what he's been hitting. So that's I like that switch at rusher. Force him to go to the sidelines.
And now we're approaching 6 minutes left.
Looks like Matt's coming back in. Never mind.
So Gatien will remain as a rusher on the left side of their formation on defense. Matt Bond playing middle linebacker. The snap. Quick pass. Paslakis upfield, and he is brought down by Jovan Cober. About 8 yards on the play. It will be 3rd down. And now you bring in to what? Would you not want to keep with Gatien, given you're in the red zone and want to have more of a longer limbs to work with here, guys?
Personally, I would, yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I don't really know what Chernobyl was trying to do there because, you know, at this point, this close, you can't have a guy running free right there, easy throw, 8 yards, and that just can't happen.
3rd down. Wait, going back in the end zone. Pampena, 2 TDs for number 14. It is now a 38-28 lead for Clockwork.
Key score. That's a good throw. Great route by Pampena with the deep out. Nobody covering that back of the end zone at all. I was watching the defense on the line. Everybody was staring at Marco. Nobody was looking around to see where.
If you look at the replay there, Matt Bond was kind of covering grass.
Yeah.
He watched Pampena cut right in front of him and, you know, just stayed there. So
Pampena had 2 TDs during the regular season, has 2 tonight. So he's definitely equaled his output, but also his value surpassed that total this game.
You kind of have no choice as a quarterback to go down that depth chart to try to get that 3rd and 4th and 5th receiver because your top guys are going to be covered.
Now the 2-point convert to go up by 12. Nonetheless,
this
though,
is also a big play right here.
Huge play. Humes drops back. Masciotra rolling right, going
Sack.
crossbody, and he is sacked by Tuat. It remains a 10-point lead. You have to score it and get a turnover here if you're Chernobyl. A tall task, but it could be done with about less than 5 to go in this game.
Yeah, and if I'm Chernobyl here, you know, you got to score fast. You can't have a 7, 8, 9 play drive. You got to score in 2, 3, 4 plays.
I can't see them scoring quickly against this defense, so that's a problem. So they're gonna have to figure it out.
You got to have like a hook and go or something.
Quick pass, Patry, and he's brought down by Rich Humes for
They're
about
still
a
in
4-yard
too deep.
gain.
You could definitely flood them deep, and something's gonna open up.
Yeah.
2nd down coming up here, and we are rapidly approaching 4 minutes left in this football game.
And that's good. They're showing some urgency in the huddle there, but you know, you have to consider going no huddle too.
Chenard waits, pumps, Gatien open, caught, 1st down, and he is going to trip and bumble his way. However, we'll see what the flag is. If
I
it's
think it's just to mark the spot. Flag guard. How could he flag guard? Both hands were on the ball.
Down.
So the 1st down will count, and we'll see
Is
what
that the call? Flag guard.
Yeah.
But he was falling at. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway.
We'll see it on the replay, I guess. We're trying to set up something for next year so that we can have a challenge available to the players.
My, oh my, Mocon's idea is coming to life, I see.
Mocon, you never have good ideas. Somebody else probably thought about it before you.
Chenard waits, going right corner.
Oh,
Caught for the touchdown.
What a catch.
Nick Arsenault-Hum to make it 38-34 with about 4 minutes or so left in this football game.
Nick is single-handedly destroying me in fantasy right now. I hate him.
We'll see the replay on that play as he crowned Antoinio Lanni on that touchdown grab.
Yeah, that's not only a great catch, but great ball placement from Chenard.
Here it is.
It was a soft post corner, not ran like it wasn't that good of a route, but just a great catch.
Extra point attempt critical. Going to the
Yeah.
corner again. Gatien, he goes up the ladder for the extra point.
Great catch.
It's now a 3-point lead
Great
with
catch.
about 3 minutes and 10 seconds left in this 4th quarter, or 2nd half, my apologies.
And I don't know why they didn't go for 2 there to try and make it a 2-point game, but because 3 doesn't really do much for you. But anyway, 38-35.
They didn't think about it before. I don't think they gave that any thoughts.
Yeah.
Guys, are you surprised that my apologies, Chernobyl hasn't called their timeouts here? Or are they going to wait later on this drive when it's 3rd or 4th down?
I think they just probably figured that they have to just stop them no matter what. If they score, it's done, whether you get 1 or 2.
Marco Masciotra could be the closer of this game.
Lanni
going deep. Lanni, covered by Patry, over his head, out of bounds.
You said it doesn't matter if they score, but it did, because if they made it 38-36, Then Clockwork scores 44-36. You're still a touchdown and a 2-point conversion away. So this makes no sense.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Life doesn't make sense in flag football when it comes down to numbers.
That's a great point. I couldn't have thought of it myself.
Life doesn't make sense.
Here we go. We're now approaching 2 minutes left in this second half. Can Chernobyl hold serve and get back the ball? Down by 3. Masciotra looking left, caught by Patron, and that'll be enough for a first down. Flag in the play. However, they'll be...
Is that going to be holding or
Probably
flag
holding.
guard?
Are his flags tied together? Like they're still not undone.
Yeah, that does not look right.
Something's up there.
And we've yet to see Chernobyl call their timeouts. We are now almost at 1 minute left in this second half, and no timeout call by Chernobyl.
They're kind of blowing this one here because there's no way you should be able to get 10 yards on a hook when the game is on the line. You got to be in their face.
You got to be either playing tight man or a 4-1 or something of the sort, because this is, again, I don't know what they're trying to do.
Now, if you're Marco Masciotra, do you take your time here? Don't want to go for the kill shot too early in this
But the kill shot is a kill shot because it's a 9-point lead now if they score.
Yeah.
So either way, it's over.
Because you want to kill off more seconds, though, just to make sure.
It doesn't matter anymore. At this point, if they don't stop them, it's over. If they score, game over.
And now the timeout has been called. So with about a minute or so left in this second half.
Clockwork are just all T-bowing beside each other, huddled up.
That's a T-bow huddle.
Yeah.
I've never seen this in
I've never
flag.
seen that huddle, yeah. That's interesting formation.
Drawing something up in the stand. Guys, look at this.
And we're going to be back to live action on the snap of the football. Less than a minute in this football game. A fast-moving matchup has been going back and forth. A boxing-like matchup between these two teams. Can Clockwork close it out and win a Div 2 title? Looking left, quick pass, incomplete. Rich Humes, Mathieu, and now a timeout called. Or has it been called officially?
Yeah.
Now called by Chernobyl. So roughly, according to my calculations, there could be about 45 seconds left before 5 plays.
Yeah, and Chernobyl's out of timeouts now, so
this is do or die for them as we speak.
Yeah. What down is this?
I think it's third now.
Third down.
Realistically, the best thing that can happen is that obviously they can get a pick here, but if they don't and a turnover on downs, they'll have 4 plays to score.
So a minute 26. So my apologies.
Minute 26. Okay, never mind.
Minute 26 left in this game here. Clockwork cannot get a first down. They have to go for 6 points. Looking left, quick pass through the hands of Patron, incomplete. 4th down.
And that was bad ball placement. Petroni had to reach behind him. If he led him to the sideline, that was an easy catch.
I think Matt might have had a better chance at catching that ball, but he never even tried, knowing that Matt was sitting behind him. Not the best toss.
4th down. And this could be the game right here for Chernobyl.
Evidently, this is definitely the game, yes.
Third down? No, it's
third down.
Third down, okay.
Third down. So this is not the game yet, according to the referees below us. Looking left, waiting patiently. Short pass, Petroni through his head.
Oh, my God.
Both feet in.
Absolutely. Absolutely, that's a touchdown.
That's a catch, touchdown.
Touchdown.
And game.
Game, set, match. And
that was
right
an
now,
insane catch.
We'll get the replay on this, whether or not he had that cleanly and got both his feet and football past the end zone. Here we go,
It
guys.
definitely looked like he did from here.
That's up in the air,
100%.
and he did.
100%.
Matt Bond says no, but we saw the replay, guys. That is definitely a touchdown.
Yeah.
And Clockwork is more or less 6 plays away from winning their first ever Div 2 title in the winter season. Great concentration, though, to get that in.
Great concentration. I mean, he should have made the catch, but yeah.
And possession, as we can see, still secured. And in the end zone he goes.
That's a great look at that.
That's a great angle. Yeah, his arm's underneath there clearly. And
9-point lead. And Daniel Roy calls delay a game on, or no, my apologies, an OC on Chernobyl.
That's not smart. That's not smart at all.
Did they call it a touchdown, guys, or what?
Touchdown is official, But Chernobyl's convinced that that was not a touchdown. But again, guys, we had the replay to see it, and it was a clean play from Petroni.
And guys, that is game, because with 6 plays left, you're down 9. That's an impossible deficit.
This would be a perfect example of when they would challenge the play, at least to settle their minds to know that it was a touchdown or not, because we have a great look at it. Somebody in the booth would be able to make this call.
And again, ball is secured. Unfortunately, we don't have a telestrator here for those who were trying to see.
I was expecting you to kind of circle
over that, but we can see that the right hand, when he catches it, secures possession right there. And watch the right hand.
Yeah, his 2 feet are clearly in.
Absolutely.
The left hand falls, and his right hand
secures
and
it.
It's the way that he keeps his eyes on the ball the entire time, and his feet in bounds. Like, he's got pure control of his body there. It's a great play.
So they forego the extra point attempt, and now with 5 plays left, 9-point lead. As James made the point before, it's now more or less a victory for Clockwork, with very little to go left in this football game.
Yeah, and we all go back to that choice of going for 1 instead of 2 points. And, even though they got the 1-pointer, that essentially killed any chance at a comeback for Chernobyl.
Guys, let's talk about this game here. We look back late in the first half. Chernobyl could have gone up by 15 points or more. Marco Masciotra with a huge play. They score. They have momentum. Was that the turning point in this matchup?
No doubt.
Absolutely, because they ended up scoring after that pick as well. So it's a 12-point difference. I don't remember whether they got the extra point or not.
They did. They got a 2-pointer.
Okay.
It was 21-12 at the time, and it was 21-20 at the half.
Yeah. So instead of scoring, you give up 6.
You give up 8.
8. So it's not good. It's not a good look.
We remember I asked you guys, was it too early to go for 2 points? That is the difference in why they will win this football game by none, as opposed to say 7 or less. So that came in handy for them late in this football game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good point, Mo. If Clockwork did decide to go for 1 at that point, let's say they got it 21-19, we would be looking at a 43-35 game and a chance for a tie here for Chernobyl.
I feel like Jovan heard me say he's got no hands, and I was trying to show off. He's made 2 catches in a row, but this is not what you want to do if you're Chernobyl. You need to put the ball in the end zone quickly, and it doesn't look like that's their game plan.
Now formality with a few plays to go in this football game. Clockwork will win the Div 2 winter title in what was a fascinating start to finish with the amount of teams so close in parity. And right now for Chenard, playing it out to Gatien in the end zone. He gets it in. Will that be a touchdown? No, incomplete.
That's strange that they call that no touchdown, just because in previous games, even in the finals, they've called 2 plays that were exactly the same as touchdowns, where a guy caught it but then dropped it, and they called both of those first few touchdowns, and now they're calling that incomplete. So I think the thing that we got to work on in this league is more consistency in the calls.
And you wonder again if maybe next year, or even for the spring season that is, we might have instant replay for the August finals back in Brossard.
I think that would be an awesome addition to this finals roadshow, even for all the playoffs. Obviously that's not really likely, but maybe 5 years down the road.
And that's picked off to cap off a statement victory for Clockwork, as they'll win the Div 2 winter season title over Chernobyl, 44-35. Guys, your final thoughts on this football game?
Sorry, I was trying to see if Pat was rattled or not, but that was a good game. I didn't see it coming down to 44 points on offense by Clockwork. Kudos to them for putting it in the end zone. Well-deserved victory.
Yeah, honestly, from how the game started, Chernobyl came out on fire. They really had Clockwork on their heels. And again, that one interception in the red zone, late on the throw, big play by Marco, big ensuing touchdown and a 2-point conversion. And from there, it was all Clockwork. So congrats to Marco and his gang on their championship, and congrats to Rich Humes as well on winning
Double
back-to-back
championship,
championships.
Back-to-back championships. Guys, your MVP of this game was who?
MVP of this game, with Lanni getting that pick at the end. Marco also has a pick. Probably go with Marco Mas.
James?
You got to go with Marco just because of the importance of the interception that he had at that point in the game was critical. And, putting up 44 points on offense as the quarterback, I might be a quarterback myself, so I guess maybe I'm a little biased, but I would definitely say
I know
Marco.
that the league likes to stay away from the QB being the MVP, but
I don't like that rule because if you're, again,
Hey,
this is
Marco got
exactly what I said about Grip and Rip and Vinny, is that if your quarterback puts up 44 points, your quarterback should get MVP.
Who got MVP in that game?
Vinny did.
All right.
And for Marco Masciotra and Matt Kirouac, a bittersweet end to their season, hoping to play in the Div 1 title game. That will not be the case, as they will end off on a pretty good note to win the Div 2 title with their Clockwork teammates. And guys, to cap this off here, for Clockwork and for Chernobyl, what do you foresee in their future? Does Clockwork make the jump up, even though they do have a couple of Div 1 guys on their roster?
Well, they can't make the jump up because their quarterback already plays on a Div 1 team.
That's why. I mean, what do? They're going to be in a position now where they're going to say, do we have to disband and get new guys or bring in a new quarterback?
I'm pretty sure they're not highly rated players, so they can fit in Division 2. I know in the summer they don't make this team for that reason alone, because in B they don't fit, so they have to be in A, and in A they already have Roosters and Donkeys. But I think for next season they'll still fit in 2. Maybe not. Maybe they'll have to drop a player, but they're definitely going to bring back Clockwork in Division 2.
Well, on behalf of James Floriani, Matt Kirouac, and the entire staff here, guys, a really good Div 2 final that we had. It went back and forth, with Clockwork winning their first ever Div 2 title, and now they'll celebrate into the night, and we'll look forward to maybe seeing these guys down the road. So on behalf of the entire FPF staff, Rob Campana, Matt, James, everyone involved, we want to wish you a good evening and a salute to Clockwork as they win the Div 2 title for the 2016 calendar year.